I'm Lisa.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm GiGi.
GiGi, we are the ShadyTreezStitchers. And GiGi's one of our special guests from the retreat today.
Yay.
And we're thrilled to have her here. And she's very nervous, as all our guests are when we drag them onto our special videos. So this video is actually going to have 3 special guests. So we're going to splice them together because this weekend we've had a lovely weekend with 5 of us stitching.
Oh, it's been really wonderful.
It has been good. What's been your favourite part of being at a retreat with the Shady Trees?
Oh, it's just being able to sit there and stitch. Not having to worry.
Yep.
Get up, stitch.
Yep. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Get up, stitch.
Went
Eat.
for a walk. Did go for a walk once.
Oh, that was good. Where did you walk to from here?
We walked down to Jimmy's beach and then we walked down to the surf beach.
That's good.
And that was a good walk actually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it
nice,
was very
really
pleasant.
nice location.
Oh, it is. It's lovely.
For those who don't know, the Shady Trees retreat is at Hawk's Nest in New South Wales, which is a little beachside, tucked away resort. Mostly full of a lot of old people really who retire here, but also a lot of holiday goers, a lot of weekenders. People come here to play golf or to go fishing or to go bike riding. It's nice and flat, and that little walk that GiGi went on is seriously like, I would say, one big block.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of little streets in the middle, but it's only really like a big block worth. So the location is superb and we enjoy it.
It's nice and flat. I noticed a lot of people ride their bikes too.
Yes, really
Yeah,
good. for bike
ideal. Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
we're here to see what does GiGi stitch. So what would you like to show us first?
Right, first I'd like to show linen and threads, and this is the Peacock Garden from
Jen will do it.
2019,
Looking good.
and absolutely love it.
Oh, look at
Wow.
that.
It's just lovely.
What colour thread are you using?
Oh, now you're asking me.
931.
931.
931.
There you go. She's got all of them. And then, yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I know it's on a piece of rose petal fabric from Paddock Lane Designs.
That's right.
So I know the fabric.
Yes,
Imagine
yes.
that, me knowing Paddock Lane Designs
Yeah.
fabric. Okay, and what else have you got?
The next one is my Long Dogs Samplers Anzac.
Yep.
Ooh.
Haven't done a lot on it, but I've certainly made a start.
Oh,
Very
beautiful.
cool.
And again, I'm loving this one as well.
I love
It's
that grey
just-
variegation. Do you...
Oh, yes. And also I've got 69, which is going to be for Australia and New Zealand.
Lovely. Yes, it's really, when I started stitching and I did Australia, I was trying to just do the Australia first. I'm not changing thread, but I tried to get around Australia. But it was tricky up the top. Can you put it really close, Jen?
Yeah.
Because up the top, you can see those kangaroos.
Yep.
And
And
particularly-
some animals around the edges. And
They sort of get in the way of the country. So my advice from having done them, particularly that top kangaroo with that big foot, is make sure you do him first in his grey.
Right.
So that you know his foot is part of the country, because I've seen someone else stitch it and they've actually done the foot as part of the country, but it's actually his kangaroo paw.
Oh, okay.
that
yeah,
big
yeah.
foot
You
coming
see that
down.
down the bottom. Yeah.
It's like
So to
standing
do
right
the
on-
Australia first and then
Well, no, I would actually probably do the kangaroo first in your grey and
Right.
then catch your Australia up underneath him.
Oh, okay.
Because when I was stitching around, I said it didn't matter for me because I'm using the same thread, but I was just trying to do Australia first, so I had
Yes.
Australia. And I found it really difficult up in that area to decipher what was what.
Oh, that's
Well, yeah,
good advice.
because the animals are all kind of joined on the edge of it.
Yeah, they're sort of holding on to the country.
Yeah.
And it won't be so difficult for New Zealand because it's got birds, so it's just got bird legs, which is
Yeah, that mightn't be too bad.
But I've seen a lot of people choosing to do Australia and New Zealand in a different
Yeah.
colour, which I think is a
Oh, there's
fantastic
some
idea.
lovely ones.
Yeah, leave that one
Leave that one.
just for a minute.
Okay. And the other one I'm doing is that one. You want
Yeah, hold that one up.
Yeah.
So another Australiana one.
Yeah. Lovely.
Is this an Odyssey? Yes.
Yes.
Heart of
Heart of
Australia. Oh yeah, we'll hold this up for you. We'll do it for you.
Yeah. And again, this is just absolutely wonderful to do.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Stunning.
I've seen a lot of people have finished, you know, and oh, it's just lovely. So at the moment, I'm started on the Harbour Bridge, and yeah.
Very nice.
That is beautiful. Look at those colours. They are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And lots of nice block colours, so it's not
It
too
is.
hard to stitch.
That's right.
And that's
right.
right. 14 count
No, I
eighter.
have to admit, doing the flag was really tedious.
Painful.
It was painful.
Lots of long stretches of blue.
I had to just plod on.
This would be a great challenge piece though. Just for quick stitches.
Yeah, it could be. Well, I actually did start out in magical stitches. I'm not consistent, but it made me do that. And
it probably enabled you to keep going with persevering with the monotony because
absolutely.
you needed the 300 stitches or whatever.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. I really like that pattern.
Yeah.
That's a lovely Australian one. What else have you got?
Okay, is this one here,
You can do that one.
which I'm doing with Lisa.
Yes, so we're going to show you it together. Oops. Again, and we started this together as a cell, and it's really interesting to see the different ways people stitch them.
So waxing moons. So you've even started on different houses to start with.
Yeah.
So waxing moon spring house trio.
Right.
Yep.
And again, really
It's all
enjoyed
built up,
doing
isn't it?
that. I'm
That's
glad
so
I finished
cute.
the boxes though, because that's tedious as well.
That's
Yeah.
lovely, and it looks really good
But
on the pink.
I love the colours.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
That's good.
So of course I've gone and got more,
She's
as you
going
do.
As you do. And
Yeah.
what else are you stitching?
Very.
I just did-
finishes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, they're finished, but not fully finished.
Yes.
And
Very
that's
cute.
Priscilla and Chelsea from the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch.
Very
And
cute.
they're nice to do when you want a break.
Oh, they're lovely. They're very cute.
You just they're quick.
Yeah.
And
They're part of their chalk series, aren't
they are. And they've got some little, I've got quite a lot of their patterns
they? Cute.
to do.
So that's all your whips. Well,
Yes.
that's a pretty good collection for someone who only restarted stitching not long ago.
That's right.
So
that's right.
what is your stitching history, quickly?
Well, I actually stitched when my before my youngest son was born, so he's in his 30s, and then I've just come back to it in the last probably 12 months at the most. Yeah, I've been a knitter and I just thought it's relaxing.
It is relaxing.
So relaxing.
So good. And what's your favourite sort of fabric count or type? Or
I'm actually Ada. I can do 14, 16, 18. I'd like to move from that, but I don't know, my eyes can handle it.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I think if you're going to take your first step away from it, I would suggest a 28 count even weave,
Yeah.
because that's like a 14 Ada.
And maybe do a small thing to
yes,
to
definitely.
have a practice.
Definitely.
Because there's so much nice stuff. But Ada's good too.
Oh,
Like
it's great.
as I buy from Paddock Lane's
Yeah.
Designs.
So she's got some haul here to show us.
Yes.
All right. So talking
Yes.
of the Paddock Lane Designs fabrics.
So this one here is, well, actually you're better off explaining what you've given me.
Why? You
Yeah,
can read
'cause
this as well
I
as
know.
me. We have a piece of 14 count Ada in Ocean. So it's got
Lovely.
deep and light blues.
And that actually has got something going to be stitched on there.
Yeah.
that's
already.
right.
What have
really
you got
good.
planned on that?
On that one,
Yeah.
I've got,
Is it that one?
Oh.
yes.
Wow. That's going to look
Is that
good.
this one or is that one? I thought we said it wouldn't fit
Oh,
on
is it-
14.
Oh, it was this one, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
So it's not
Sorry.
that one. It's,
Right.
Okay.
But
Right.
so show the pattern.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll show you the next bit of fabric. And in particular, check out the moon and the where that moon and that witch is.
Right.
Now,
Oh.
There it
let's
is.
put it the right way. Okay, check out the fabric that she found and look at that big circle here, which is right where the moon
Oh, yeah.
and the witch should go. So she's
Yeah,
actually going to have...
Yes.
She's just sort of there. That
it's
is
probably
really,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd almost go as far as saying start with the witch in the circle and then position
There
it
you
there.
go. Yeah.
So this is a piece of Can you read it?
It says ocean as well.
It's yeah, but it's a different ocean. It's not that was ocean and this one is oh, it does say ocean. Okay, well it's a shallower ocean, 18 count Ada, and that's why she, yes, GiGi was
Yeah.
going to do it. She wanted to do it on the dark blue.
Yes.
But because it's 14 count Ada, it's not big enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
Well, Lisa helped me with that.
It's all part
And
of the
I
service.
love I seem to.
She loves the rose petalator.
Yes, I do. Look
Buys
at
me out
that.
of buys me out of shop.
that.
Look at this huge piece.
Wow.
So this is a 18 count Ada
Oh, pretty.
in rose petal. So
That
beautiful.
is
It'll be enough for
very
lots of
large.
pieces on
Oh,
that, or a
yes.
really big
Oops.
mirabilia or
Yeah.
something.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
If you like the pinks, but it's nice to see you have the different colours. So
And to do different things on them too.
Yeah,
you know,
so-
like that.
Pretty.
lovely, and lovely to have people who, because there's nothing wrong with Ada. Ada is awesome. It really is. I just don't like 14 count Ada. That's just me.
So of course I had to get that.
I'm
Like,
jealous.
Oh,
Wow. Yep.
Kringles.
oh, Kringles. I don't.
You are the first Kringles pattern I've seen. I so want to
Oh.
stitch it.
So I have to
gorgeous.
really decide.
Well, I wouldn't be doing that on any fancy fabric.
No,
It needs a
no.
plain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a very subtle mottled tan or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so too.
Because it is
Yeah.
quite busy.
Yeah.
And you don't want to detract from the
And very big.
beautiful.
You could probably do it on like a yellow.
Yeah.
A yellow would be all right, or a really pastel pink.
You'd have to make sure it's not going to clash with the
Yeah.
gingerbread people.
That's true, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But
And where did you score that pattern from?
Jenny. Sorry, what?
Was it
JK.
was it Carolyn or
No,
Jenny
from
a
Journey.
Stitcher?
Yeah.
Oh, Journey of
Jenny
a
a
Stitcher.
Stitcher,
yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good provider.
Actually, I
in
got
Australia.
both patterns.
Oh,
from,
that and the Halloween.
Yes.
Which is
Okay.
down
Yeah,
in
from
Victoria, and she does really good service and delivery from everyone who I know who's dealt with her.
And I got this from Michelle.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. The
Yeah.
other scissor
Yeah.
fob. You got longer arms, Jenny?
Yeah.
It's a long way to the camera to fit three of us in. Beautiful.
Very
It's lovely.
Beautiful little
Thank you so
scissor
much.
fob.
Lovely.
We're thanking her because she's over there listening.
Yes.
In fact, she's
She's
going
gonna-
to
yes.
next person is going to sit in the middle chair. She's probably panicking as much as GiGi was, but seriously, wasn't too hard, was it?
No, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. And I have enjoyed myself so much. We've had a lovely time.
It's great, and she wants
You
to know
know.
when the next one is. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. We don't know when yet, but we'll see if we can fit another one in before the end of the year.
Yes.
But before you go away, I'm going to ask you my survey of the day. What do you call a whip?
What do I call a whip?
What do you think it has to be a whip?
Oh, it has to be. It's got to have quite a few stitches in it, like even at least over about 200 stitches.
About 200, you reckon?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I
you
think
and Jenny,
so.
similar opinion?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And do you feel like when you start a new piece and you just get it done, you've done your 20 stitches or whatever, do you feel like you have to get back to do more because it's not really started? Or are you happy to put it away?
No, I have to put quite a few stitches in it, and I probably would do even more, maybe even that 200. But I really think it has to be at least that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your opinion in my little
Thank you very
snap
much.
poll of the day. And thanks for joining us on the video. It's your first one, and when you come back next time, you'll feel so much more comfortable and you'll know what to expect. So thank you, Gigi.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
And we're back. And so this is Michelle.
Hi.
And Michelle comes to us from very close to me. She's actually one of my real stitchy friends that I see in
am I.
person. So Jenny's a real friend who happens to be stitchy. Michelle is a real stitchy friend.
Yes, we met by a
You
stitching.
met through stitching, whereas you and I have known each other for a long time.
How do we
Yeah.
know each other, Michelle? Advertise. Where can people come to meet us?
Okay, well, first of all, we met on Virtual Stitches,
Yeah,
and that's via Facebook.
yeah.
But then we actually meet up in Cessnock once a month, first Sunday of the month, at Marthaville, and that's they can contact us on Facebook if they.
Yeah, I don't know, just message us, we can tell you how.
Yeah.
But yes, if you live anywhere in the Hunter Valley region and you do stitching, then the first Sunday of each month there is a group of us that gather.
Yep.
And you would have seen that last time, a few weeks ago, we
Yes.
gathered at the beautiful, gorgeous
Oh,
Sabor High Tea Rooms. So hopefully next week we're going to the Sabor High Tea Rooms again.
yes.
Because it's absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and it just makes you feel like $1 million when you're sitting there stitching. But we normally meet at Marthaville in Cessnock. So yeah, if anywhere in the Hunter Valley, Central Coast region, if you stitch, and first Sunday of the month starts at 10, finishes at about 4.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's lots of fun. Lovely ladies.
they really are. I mean, you met some of them last time, but there's a few more than just what was here last time. And then there's Michelle.
Yay.
All right, so what on earth have you been stitching, Michelle?
Okay, well, I got a new start for our retreat, which was also a giveaway winner from Shady Trees. And it is this gorgeous little thing. Oh, Jen's going to hold it up for me.
Jen's got the longest arms. Yes, so this Design Works kit was one of our first giveaways,
Very cool.
I think, and Michelle won it. And
Made a good start on that.
yes,
Yes, there he is.
there he is. So what have you done?
That's the little paws and his overalls.
Uh-huh.
Looking so much better in life than the picture.
Yes.
So often the case.
Yes.
And that was
So
really
cute.
cool that you had a Shady Trees retreat start.
It was. I thought it was really special.
What are you
My
enjoying
first-
most about the retreat?
I love just being able to sit down with the ladies, do nothing other than stitching, and you can talk about the stitching and not get in trouble, and they understand.
And
I
you're
love
not
it.
getting interrupted by children and
No.
husbands. And not that I have children or husbands, but everybody else here does.
We did get interrupted by children and husbands yesterday,
And dogs.
and my dogs.
Yeah, briefly.
The whole family
briefly.
came to visit briefly, but it was only brief.
Yep.
And the interruption was very brief. I was interrupted for more because we had to do something here. But and it was nice though to be able for everyone to meet my family. Now
was-
they
it
know
was
what
nice
I'm
to meet
talking
them.
about. Yeah. Okay, what else have you got?
Okay, this is Few Battles. I don't know what it's actually
Oh,
called.
one
it
by
was
Magical
Sprinkle
Stitches Book
Yeah.
One special project that Sammy Jo from Sammy J Stitches designed, and it was a freebie prize for us in Magical Stitches for achieving some goal in Book One.
Yep.
I
I
don't
think it might
remember
have been the
exactly.
first thing that first attraction we opened or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember. Oh, I think yeah. Anyway, it was a while ago, but you're doing well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That looks like it might be one of the sew it all little pieces.
it is one of the nice little bags, 28 count even weave.
Yeah, from Sew It All. They have a
Sew
nice
It All.
grab bag and it's good value.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, what else do you want to
Okay.
show next?
we'll go for this
Out of the
one.
way.
Yeah.
This is, if Jane can hold it again,
Shot.
Fairies of the Rainbow by Jane Elliott.
Oh wow.
She's gorgeous. Look at those colours.
And I did have that folded, and now I've
Now you've unfolded it. It's all good.
And this is on a piece of 16 count Ada that I dyed myself.
You did a very
Wow.
good job. She has talent, this lady. She doesn't believe it, but she does.
That
And,
is going to look so good when the whole thing is finished.
And a gorgeous little needle winder that Jen gave us for this weekend.
Naughty GiGi.
Save this one to last. So
Okay.
we've
Yep.
got,
Oh, okay.
can we
Okay.
All right. This one I'll hold.
Don't
Hang
lose
on.
him.
All right. So,
We
oh,
have
I've got to get it in the right.
angle.
Yeah.
So it's a Santa
Oh, hang on.
Claus.
Can we?
It's-
How do we turn the
Brightness.
brightness down a little bit?
It's always the fun thing with technology, trying to
Okay.
get the brightness right for the camera to pick up on it.
All right. Let's see. Can we see it now? Yes. There we go.
Okay, it's Checking His List by Jane Elliott. And I have started
At least I
down
know.
near his pocket.
Oh,
Not
okay.
quite right there.
And also on another piece of fabric you dyed yourself very
Yes.
successfully. So
Yeah.
what's your favourite dyeing method, Michelle?
I scrunch it up in a little container and use a spoon to tip the dye over the top.
Do you use liquid or powder?
I actually use both,
Okay.
depending on what I could get in that colour.
Yeah.
If I could get the blue in the liquid, I'd use the liquid. If I couldn't, then
So
I'd
you
use the
dye
powder.
for an actual project. You go, I need a piece of fabric for this piece.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
And
And,
now
then
my big one.
this one is so impressive.
Okay. This one's going to be a me and Lisa.
We're going to hold this up, and
Yeah.
Michelle's going to disappear behind it. So
Okay. Here we are. This is mini. It's a mini. The Witching Hour by Cheryl Baker. It's a Haid.
Look
This
at
is
that.
a mini.
This
Oh
is a
wow.
mini.
It's on 16 count Ada again.
look at that. She's doing so well, and it's got this hat that looks just like a Hogwarts sorting hat in it, and
Complete with an owl.
An owl
Yes.
that could be
Yeah.
Hedwig or similar.
There'll be a
Yes.
cauldron in there, and
Oh.
yeah, the owl sitting on a globe, crystal
Crystal ball.
ball.
Ooh.
That's it.
So is this your
Wow.
first Haid?
This was the first Haid I started. I now have 5.
Okay. And what is your stitching method? I can see you've gridded up with dots and
Yes.
pen. What sort of pen do you use?
It was a wash out, a water soluble pen from JK's.
And what is your method? Are you a colour completer? Are you a parker? What's your general?
No, I just stitch until I can't be bothered with that colour anymore and pick another one.
I think that should be a definition. I stitched till I can't be bothered.
That
So I'm
sounds a
sick
bit
of
like
it,
me.
and then I move
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. Well done.
Yeah.
Awesome. Get that one folded up. And what have you got? Is that all your whips?
That's all my whips.
So what about haul?
Okay, well, I got a gorgeous piece for 14 count smoky Ada from Paddock Lane Designs.
It doesn't help that the shop came to the retreat. So sorry, not sorry.
Very gorgeous.
Have you got
That is
anything in
pretty.
mind for that? Because you did particularly ask for that one.
Yes, I got 2 pieces I'm going to toss up. There's like a Halloweeny one with some cartoony monsters, or Mischief Managed, the Ravenclaw one,
Yep.
because I'm Ravenclaw. So it's going to take it home and look
And
at the
decide-
colours
yeah.
and decide which one to put on it.
Lovely. And what else have you got?
Okay, there's a little cheap shop just down the road here, and it's really good for crafts.
It is. It's called Solo.
Yeah, I'll take these out.
It's like a $2 shop, but they also have a whole section for crafts. A lot of walls, lots of different walls. Again, as I said, it is a retirement area, so I think the crafts are catered towards what the people who live here would buy more often. So it doesn't have a lot,
I'll
a lot for
different. I've got
embroidery,
lots
but it
around.
does have some.
So
So
she's got 2 variegated
These are beautiful.
anchors.
two
Oops.
variegated
Very
anchors.
pretty.
Very pretty. I like
Lovely.
them.
And
And I've
Oh.
got some charms to make some more zipper pulls.
Little tiny sparkly ones.
awesome. Very good. Cool. And the question of the day, what do you call a whip?
Well, to me, a whip is anything with stitches in it.
So you've committed a piece of fabric and some stitches to it.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I classify as a whip.
How many whips do you have?
A lot more this year, but I couldn't actually count.
Could you give it a really rough approximation? Throwing you
Um,
on the spot here, that's what I like to do.
somewhere between 15 and 20 now.
Okay. Yeah. All because of us.
Yeah.
Us bad influences in virtual stitches.
I think it's about
Yes.
the same for me.
Yeah.
About 15 to 22.
You've more than doubled this year.
Mm.
But are you enjoying having more pieces to work on?
Yes.
And admittedly, most of the ones that the new ones I've started are ones for me. In the past, a lot of what I've done have been gifts for other people, mostly people in my family. It's a way of showing love. I put all of this effort and time in to making something beautiful for them. So, and some of them, I've got one that has come back to me. I made it for my grandparents for their 50th wedding anniversary, and yes, when they passed away, it came back to me. So, yes.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you for joining us, Michelle. And as I said, next time you'll be able to bring a few more of your whips along, and we'll be able to see some progress. Next time we'll be able to do this as a before photo.
Oh.
Well, we can, because we only see you guys every however many months between Shady Trees.
Yeah.
Although Michelle, I can always duck into our actual stitch up again and show you what she's doing. You did actually meet her, I think, last week on the
Yes.
video. So anyway, all right, well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And we're back with person 3, NittyNatStitches. So we have another floss tuber in our midst. Yay! A fairly new floss tuber. How many floss tubes do you have now, NittyNat?
2 plus a tutorial, so the
Very
loop
good
start,
very good
loop start
tutorial.
and finish. So yeah,
That's been brave.
been really good. It's been
Yeah.
good. Of course, every time I do a floss tube, I do an acknowledgement of country. So
Yes, well, you can do an
I
acknowledgement of
will.
country, that's
yeah.
fine.
I would like to acknowledge that we here at Shady Trees Retreat are meeting on Warimi. Is that how I say it?
Warimi, yeah.
Warimi land, and I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of wherever our viewers are
That's
as well.
wonderful.
And elders past, present, and emerging.
That's very true.
So yes,
That's lovely, and it's good to actually find out what country we actually are in.
it's very easy to do.
I know
It's
I
very
learnt a
easy.
lot in my years of living in lots of different places. The Kamilaroi is probably the country that I've had the most to do with from my 10 years up in Tamworth. But my time down in Ku-ring-gai was a lot too, but we didn't really have a lot to do with it back then.
No,
It's
it
more
wasn't.
prevalent
It's
in more recent years.
it's a way of acknowledging where you are and that there is a very deep connection to land that the traditional owners have, far back into history than us
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
beyond most civilizations as well, which is incredible, and
Definitely.
it's great to be able to acknowledge it and to see country as well.
Yes, and I was going to say a lot of the trees around here probably would appreciate that too because they've been around that long.
They really have.
They really have.
Yeah.
And I'd say that because we're the ShadyTreezStitchers, so it just
Yes.
sort of tweaks an idea about trees
and the shade that
And
they
shade.
give us.
And
Yes,
that's why we love
it's
them.
Very important.
and the oxygen.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so what have you been enjoying about the Shady Trees retreat because it's your first retreat with
It's
us?
my first retreat with you. I've been enjoying actually the break from Sydney. It's been really good. I've really appreciated it to be able to get in the car and really escape.
Yeah, well, you've
It's
definitely
been
been
great to properly retreat from everyday life.
And that's a good thing. Even though
It's
you're
been
still on
good.
phone communication and video communication and,
And
everything.
Facebook
Yeah.
and Twitter and Instagram.
Well, I have to admit, it's an improvement to the Shady Trees retreat experience. We do have unlimited Wi-Fi now,
It's great.
which
Yes.
never bothered me before anyway because it's nice to retreat and get away from it. But so much of what we do these days does involve electronics, and I know it used to be frustrating, especially working through the challenges on a retreat, to have to go back on Sunday night and get home and go, right, what did I do? What do I need to post? Where do I need to post it? I'm just so used to doing it as I go.
That's
post,
right.
send.
And that way you don't get thrown in Facebook jail either.
No, that's true. Horrid Facebook jail. We don't enjoy that.
Yes.
All
And,
right.
and also for me this weekend it meant that I could do my scout leader meeting yesterday afternoon
Yeah.
on Zoom here. Like if I went and sat in another room to do it, but at least I was still able to come to the retreat. I didn't have to,
Yeah.
and I didn't have to miss the meeting.
Life
so,
can continue.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have preferred it to not have been 2.5 hours, but
2.5 hours of stitching time gone, but hey,
Yeah.
at least you got both done.
yes.
Well, we had a lot of distractions as well, didn't we, Lisa?
Oh my goodness.
we didn't get as much
We didn't
done
get
as
much
we
done
thought we
yesterday.
might.
No, although when we added up our figures at the end of the day, it was surprisingly
Very
good.
good.
But it felt like we got nothing done
I'll
yesterday.
tell you about my numbers when we
Yes,
get
yes.
to that whip.
All right,
It's
so
good.
what whips have you been working on?
So I've been working on a variety. I was finishing off my Magical Stitches homework. I worked on my Bloom and Grow. There we go. Take it nice and close. I was working on these purple flowers, which, considering it started in January, then there was February and March. So I'm
Up to April.
up to April. So I was behind. It was my piece that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Now, I actually wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. It's delightful, and I really like the bold. Look how bright that is. It's great.
And it's
The-
popping on that
it
fabric.
totally pops. I dyed this
I was
one.
going to say, so what did you dye it with?
I dyed it with RIT,
RIT.
liquid
Liquid red.
using jar method. I love it.
It's great on there.
So handy. But this was a gift, and it was a gift to me by a very beloved relative of mine. And yes, I chose it, but I feel obligated to keep up. And now I'm behind,
Yeah.
and it's
Stressing
becoming
you.
a burden. And so I wouldn't wish an obligation stitch
Yes.
on my worst
Yes.
enemy.
Not you
Good
wouldn't wish
point.
that pattern. It's the
No,
obligation.
it's the obligation. So
Lovely.
So I got that out of the way and
Yep.
done, and it went back in the project bag.
Do you have any plans for that one?
I plan probably now that it's Sunday afternoon, Magical Stitches homework is yet to come
Yep.
out. I'll probably sit and I'll stitch with it this evening, but it's part of my
Oh, for for next
you know,
yes,
for
good.
next
So that's
month
plans
for semi-sane stitches. So it will get 100 stitches here, 200 stitches
Yeah,
there.
bit of love.
A lot of love, actually. I'm hoping a lot of
Hoping a lot of
love
love.
because
So
I
you
really
try
want
and
to.
catch up a bit.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
want to, yeah.
Well, yes, because if you're only on April and
I've still got May,
June.
and June is out.
yeah.
July won't come out until the 24th of
Oh,
July.
okay,
So
so
they
they
come
d-
out on
okay.
the 24th of July.
Okay, so you've got some time. So June's only just come out.
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
yes.
it just came out before I came
So
away.
you're really only a month and a half behind.
I know, that sounds really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to be positive here.
I know, you are, and you're doing a good job.
You're only a month and a half behind. It's all good. You'll catch up
Yeah.
with you know.
Yeah. Now, I've got another obligation stitch because this is for a colleague's birthday.
You showed them.
Okay, this is Honeybee
Oh.
Pin Drum.
So pretty.
So cute.
Yeah. And so that's by Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist. And I'm using my stash. I am stitching with Colour Stream cottons and silks for you. And where I don't have either, I've got DMC. And so this is what it looks like. There we go. I'm just using a Zweigart 32 count even weave. Nothing
and
special.
crisp. Nice
It's
and crisp.
lovely and crisp, which will mean finishing it will be reliable.
Yes.
Which, given that it's a gift, I want it to be.
Now you've done something really special with the flower. Can you go closer on the flower, Jen? Thank you.
Yeah,
This
so
little red square one right here.
red square one. So I have a beautiful project bag by NittyNatStitches Design Studios, which has red and very strong coloured native flowers. And so I wanted to evoke the native flora as opposed to this one that has blues in it, and so they might be violets or something like that. But in Australia, the honeybees go to very strongly red flowers, and so I really wanted to pick that up
I think you
and
succeeded.
to Australianise this gift for my friend who
Lovely.
keeps bees.
Lovely. Beautiful.
go.
Look forward to seeing that FFO'd.
So, so am I. It's going to be a challenge. It'll be my first ever pin drum. The other one that I was working on just in the moments while you were busy recording your
recording.
floss
We saw you
tube
down
and
there.
speaking with guests is Ink Circles Fleur-de-lis. And I am stitching that on the same fabric, so antique white linen, antique white 32 count
Look
even
at
weave.
that thread.
I'm using Silks for You PR 116.
Always a good idea to write it on the project.
Always good to keep it on the project. I had to dig through my project bag to find where the tag was. These little tags are the little tags. I'd love it if they had a bigger hole
Yes,
on
so you
them
just put
to
the
be
thread
able,
through
so
them.
you could put the thread through them
True.
and drop them, and they become their own floss drop. That would be
Your dream.
That would be my dream. That would be my dream, and so I'm just going to have to go through and get a hole puncher and do that.
Awesome. Well, you're making great progress
I
on
am.
that.
I dropped about 100 stitches on that.
No.
I think while we were
Just while
while you were filming.
Awesome.
All right.
What else have you got?
Next, I've got another mystery stitch along. So this is one that Lisa and I are both working on.
This is the one I forgot to get out earlier, but it didn't matter because I wanted to show you with Nat.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's big.
Yours
And
is big.
so I'm stitching on 14 count Ada. And what are you stitching on, Lisa?
I would imagine I'm on an 18 count. Ada.
So the size is
Very
look
different.
at the size
Yeah.
difference. It really.
Especially if I fold that over.
Yeah.
We've done the same corner. Like that is exactly the same part of the pattern.
Yeah.
How
and
different.
we're both stitching April.
Yep. Well, I've just finished
You've
April.
just finished April.
And May, but I've moved down.
And I put in 985 stitches on April just this weekend. So that was my big push. That's what I wanted to achieve.
And I had set myself the goal again with the school reports. Thanks, Jen. To finish April, which is this big one here, but also May. So I have done April and May and achieved that goal in the school reports, and I'm getting started on June, wherever June is now. Yeah, so that's what we've been we've been doing. So that's one we have in common, and we are both equally as caught up, pretty much.
Oh,
This is
I think I'm still at least
you're a bit behind.
2,000 stitches behind where you are.
Maybe, but I find this a really lovely stitch, a really easy stitch. In hindsight, realising it's 18 count fabric, I would have only used one strand of CXC, not the two, because it is bulky.
Yeah.
But I've started that way, so I'm continuing it that way. I love my choice of colours, and I can't wait till it gets more of the picture. But it's my daily 30 piece, and I love doing that because it's getting me progress, so it's going to continue to be my daily 30 piece this week.
And those of you that watched my loop start and loop finish tutorial, that's the project that I did the tutorial on with the cottage garden threads as well, which are lovely. Which one did we want to talk about next? This one?
I think so.
Yep. Okay, so
Isn't that the only
Lisa,
one we've got left, I think?
and I'm going to talk about these
yes,
two.
sure. Let's
All
do
right.
this one.
Okay, so Lisa and
So this is haul
it's haul
and a whip.
and a whip.
Or is
New
it a whip?
start.
Is it a whip?
But
This
it's
is the question.
definitely a new start.
It's definitely a new start.
Because we started it only a few hours ago.
We started this morning. I know, but it's throwing into my question of, well,
Yes.
what makes a whip? So I'm asking, is it a whip or is it a new start? That's just, it's a rhetorical question.
Where
at this stage.
does it be
Where-
switch from
where
one
does-
to the next?
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's the rhetorical question I'm asking at the moment.
But it's also haul because this was
Yes.
a gift
From
from
Michelle.
Michelle found two gold collection petites from Dimensions, and they're a pair. And we're going to stitch them as a pair.
We're going to go Shazam and make them a pair.
Yep. They're going to wave at each other or gesture to each other or gaze longingly at each other.
Across their different trees.
Yes.
Again, with the trees.
Yes.
Shady trees.
Shady
Yes.
trees.
Yep.
Although mine's blossoms, so there's not actually many leaves on mine.
Well, I've got shady tree.
You do. It's
The
lovely.
man has a shady tree.
He has a shady tree.
So we're actually going to stitch each half. So show yours and then I'll show mine.
So I started at the edge where they will meet, and I ran a line where the edge of the fabric is and counted back from it. I've also got a little line where the center is, so that will meet the center of
The second piece.
the second piece.
So I did the same. Now, it was really annoying to have to start at this particular point in the fabric for both of us because we're both usually middle starters.
Yeah.
But we realised that we want to make them Shazam together and join together in some way that's going to look all right. So the trees are actually going to pretty much, if not
Touch.
join, they'll either touch or almost touch.
come very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So-
I got this little branch, and there is a tiny bit of back stitching there just so that I could find the edge, and some blossoms. And
And I've done 100 stitches exactly in green leaves.
and I've done 113 in branches and blossoms.
And I thought that was a good point to say, is 100 stitches make it a whip? Is that enough to say that that is actually a whip? In your opinion,
Yes,
you think yes? But what
It's-
is a whip to you?
a whip is something that I have started. I've committed fabric floss to fabric, and that I would be really hesitant to rip out.
That's a good
Ooh.
one.
Yeah,
That's a good
Could-
criteria to have.
Would
yes.
would I be prepared to say, I really want to use this fabric for something else, or do I say, I've started it, I'm going to work on it. I think now with 100 stitches in it, I don't want to pull it out.
No.
Um,
and you've done different colours.
I've
and
done
you've-
different
yep.
colours. There are 4 different colours in this one at the moment. And yeah, a start is your first stitch. You've committed. A whip is something that you will work on. It's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress.
Um,
So there is it. So I guess they're sort of
Yeah.
saying there's a difference between a start and a whip.
yes.
There is a line somewhere.
There is a line somewhere. It's pretty blurry. I'm not sure. It's somewhere between probably 50 and 100 stitches where that line is. I think
Yep.
it's about 50 stitches because I got to about 20 stitches in and realised, oh, I'm actually one line too high. And I decided that I would just need to remember that that my centre line is now one line too low. So I need to remember that when we swap.
Swap. It's interesting because you said that, because when I started stitching my little greenery bits, I started with this bit here, and then I walked down to here, and then I was filling in, and then I discovered that I'd done one thing wrong in this part, and like you say, I got to where I actually ended up frogging about 30 stitches because I figured it was going to be better for me to frog it at that point.
And fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, now I've done 100 stitches. If you told me to frog all 100, I possibly would still do it if it was important.
Yeah.
But because this is leaves on a tree,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say it's a tree and it's got leaves.
It's not like
My
it's
branch
a
can
hand in
bend a little bit.
particular-
Yeah.
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 So it really depends on where you are, but I do generally prefer to start in the middle with
Yep.
these sorts of projects. So it's really weird to be starting in the middle of the fabric and then working my way out
Yeah.
across and down.
Yeah. And Lisa and I are both not using the provided fabric in the kit.
No, we're
we are using Paddock Lane
Designs.
Designs. What's this one? Spring Garden.
Spring Garden.
Spring Garden. We both
Randomly picked the same fabric to stitch it on. I know. I had this little piece left over and I'd cut it a bit uneven, and I thought, I'm not going to sell that one. I'll keep it for something. And then when Michelle got it, gave it to me, I went, you know what? I think little dude is going to look good on green. So I didn't tell Natalie.
Yep.
And I just went to get it started.
And I was thinking, oh, this would be nice on peach. And then I looked at the peach fabric from Lisa that I'd picked up and thought that the flosses in the background of her dress were going to fade in. So
She randomly picked the same green.
I chose the same green.
But it's really nice. So we've got a retreat start now together at Shady
Yeah,
Trees,
Shady Trees.
involving trees.
And it's definitely a stitch along, and it's, I guess, round robin.
It's a round robin.
It's a round robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to be
the charts are going to be
the
round
charts are going to be
robin.
round robin. We're going to
Yep.
share the other chart when we finish. So
That's
we're
right.
going to have to keep each other accountable to try and finish at the same time. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, with all of our whips that we have to work on, so we need to.
We'll just have to keep egging each other on to keep up with each other.
And I'm using a little needle minder from Jenny. Thank you.
Yes.
So thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Jenny.
Lovely.
Yeah.
It's a haul.
Two little bits of haul. So I mentioned the apricot fabric. Now that I'm not using it, I will probably use it for
Your original intention.
my original intentions. I have some Mirabilias that are in my pattern stash. I've got more on the way. It's beautiful. And there we go. That's about the right colour there. And this is Autumn Sunrise, a dark autumn sunrise.
Because I dyed a few the same,
Yeah.
but they were different, and I wanted
Yeah.
to be able to decipher between them. So when you say I bought
Yeah.
this one, I'll go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's that one.
Yeah.
Some of them get numbers 1, 2, and 3, but these ones had enough. The other one is actually on my Etsy store, and it has, Natalie pointed out, it has this beautiful tree on it.
It's lovely.
It'd be like, she thought it'd be perfect for touching autumn sky, like Mirabilia, because it's like the little swing touching the grains look like a tree.
Yeah,
So
yes, it's really lovely veining
Yeah.
through it. It's lovely. And this is a 32 count even weave
It is.
Murano. So, and it's a fat quarter.
Yep.
So looking forward to putting that
something to use.
somewhere to use. Now, I did get another one, and I got this one before it.
Well, the day it dropped.
The day it dropped. I got it the day it dropped. I snapped it up. So it's even got my name on the tag. It is also a fat quarter of 32 count even weave in Muddy Rose,
It's beautiful.
and it's beautiful. It's lovely. I love this kind of murky spot over here.
The murky brown
The
spot.
murky brown spot and the little splashes of
Something.
something where the powder maybe
Yeah.
hadn't quite dissolved properly.
Gives it a couple of splotches.
Yeah, it gives it a couple of splotches, and it looks really organic. I like that. And I have a chart that I purchased, and it's Gira and I don't know how to say the rest of the name. It's a Japanese designer, but it's a modern adaptation of an old English tapestry of the lady and her unicorn, and it's a full coverage.
Look
a
at
full
that.
coverage one, and the colour is about right.
So you won't have to do the
I
background.
won't have to do the background.
No, that'll be good. And the grainy organicness will make it look really rustic and
That's
beautiful.
right.
Perfect.
And antique.
You
and
have such a
antique-y.
good eye for colours and matching
I
things,
was
mate.
waiting
You
for
really
the
do.
right colour fabric, and that chart's available on Creative Poppy.
Creative Poppy, lovely.
Yeah, and it's a really good website for all sorts of modern and
And if
traditional.
Natalie sends me the information, I'll add it to the list of
I
things
will
that
do
I'll
that.
link to
I
on
will
this
do
chart,
that.
on this
Yeah.
video. Yep, that'd be great.
Thank you so much
Oh,
for
thanks for
having
joining us.
having us here. It's been lovely to meet you all in person.
I know,
It's
instead of
it's
just
been really
virtual.
good, and meeting Michelle and GiGi. Thank you. They're behind you.
The other
Well,
end of the
we
room.
might do, I think you said last week, you said you might do a quick tour of our stitchy space.
Yeah, but we packed it all up.
Yeah.
I know.
So it's
Yeah.
probably not really
Anyway,
worth
we
it.
had two-seater armchairs and 2 single chairs, and so we were sitting in a little U with the
Fireplace.
fire on the other side.
Yeah.
Fireplace.
Yep, Gigi
So-
and I worked very hard to keep that fire going.
Maybe
It was
next
good.
time we do a retreat, I'll actually do a quick little video of it separately
Yes.
while we're actually stitching, so you can see. The Shady Trees retreat, though, I have to admit, it's fairly hot property to get a bed because we can only have probably 7, 8 at the absolute max.
Yep.
Because it is just a little house at the beach and it has one toilet. That's the downside.
Yes.
So you don't want too many people with one toilet. But it's very comfy and it has everything we need. The girls were really clever and cooked all sorts of things for lunches and
It's
dinners.
been good. Yeah.
It's been really, really great. So thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little Shady Trees retreat special. And as I said, there may be another retreat this year. I don't know yet. We'll see. Depends on dates and things. But we appreciate you watching us. And thank you so much to our special guests for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Until next time, happy stitching.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.